Hello and welcome back to another night of Omen Esports here in the newest season of ESEA Advanced, Season 58. A little bit of a delay with getting their season going. Only had the one match last night, but instead we now are gifted with 3 nights of Omen Esports action on this week. So we have tonight's game with Omen Esports taking on Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And we will see them take on some other teams tomorrow and on Thursday, the default days. I believe we should have no issues, no qualms with that. But regardless of whatever potential future games we have going on, we have one right here on our plate. So it should be an exciting game. Should be an interesting one. Both teams, however, I've only played the one match so far, with Shadow Wizard Money Gang taking a 6-13 loss. A pretty terrible deficit on Inferno. Against Dice, which I believe is a pretty good team as we've seen so far. Omen had the 13-8 victory against Chicken Coop on earlier last week on Thursday. So it was a good nuke game. It felt like a nice game for Omen to play, where they were able to, you know, get the jitters out early and feel a little bit more confident in their ability with things. And yeah, we will now see how things can go here on Cash. And I will say on the HUD, it's a little messed up. I need to do some fixing before tomorrow night's match, of having it show Cash correctly and not overpass. But until then, we'll make do with it. This fake out of fart, he pulls out this execute, and all of these B players are leaving. The only player close by is Tech, and they realize that there's no sound, no audio. Vent gets broken, but CS is holding the space. They start to walk back in. Action now up close by Tree. Tori getting swung out. Topher's trying to swing out from heaven to help out. Ween is good on the P250 up close. Down in hell, it will be Soap, and it will be Noah to group up. And as Topher finds one headshot on a Cepha, it is now a 4 versus 3 advantage in favor of Omen. Zombie catches them on the cross, allows that safe plant from Ween. Another one tap out of the P250 from Omen. Opper is good with another trade out of Seabass, getting everyone active. And so Omen will find that pistol round, get up to a 1-0 start here on Cash. And so, I mean, Cash is such an exciting map to really talk about right now, because I think it's gone from being everyone for so long was wanting it to come back. You know, it's very much nostalgia focused. Everyone's super excited to see it again. Everyone wants to play it, and everyone wants to see it. You know, a lot of different things kind of adding up over time to cause people to be super excited about it. And I do think there is kind of this concern of, you know, maybe it isn't as, you know, as wanted as people initially thought. You know, I've seen so many complaints on Twitter, especially of people saying, oh, you know, they wanted this, you know, they wanted to be able to see this, you know, Cash play come into the game with, you know, through Premiere mode. And it feels like I keep seeing stuff on Twitter like, oh, well, you know, if you're playing on, you know, if you're playing Premiere, you know, why everyone want this map to come back? And now we've seen nothing but insta bans for Cash when you actually play Premiere. And so I think it's kind of a very heavily debated map at the moment in terms of if it wants to be seen or not. I think the pro play, I'm excited to see how it goes with Blast starting tomorrow morning. You know, I'm looking forward to kind of just overall getting an understanding of if it will be seen a lot in pro play, or if it is just going to be ignored on these in these pro matches. You know, I think that can be an interesting factor. So yeah, I mean, back to the action. Just Omen Esports, first time on Cash here on the season. And so far, likely to get a 2-0 victory. This entire stack sitting here towards B, waiting for a hunt to come forward. Might get one of those rare unicorn rounds where it is instead just a couple of members, you know, just all 5 members on each team staying alive, not really going hunting for anything. Just breaking the vent, trying to pull some rotations. They have the stack containing here towards CT spawn. I do think there's a chance that Fart goes down here, which would ruin this 5 versus 5 perfect retake situation, but Far overwhelmed, runs out of the back 10 bullets, does find 1 kill, finds a second out of Noah, damn, finished off by the bomb explosion. So 2 kills, Mac 10 recovered by Tori. I don't even know if you really want a Mac 10, you know, in a map like this, but I think the real crux of Cash so far, from what I've seen in my experience in some scrims and from watching it during the one event that we did see over in China, I believe, over in Guangzhou, the Guangzhou Pro League that we saw, you know, FaZe have a pretty great run at. The real crux of Cash seems to be this mid aggression out of the T's, having a full contention of it is really the answer to having a dominant T side. It feels like CT side really is reliant, similar to Anubis, where you need to be able to play your extremities well in the mid round because of how much space and how much, you know, strength is given over to the to the T so early on. So I think we're going to see a lot of mid pressure out of both teams when it comes to their their T sides. And I do think that we will see, with kind of this push and pull of an aggressive T side, it will turn into CTs having to respond back and potentially putting these stacks in towards middle. But until we do see that, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's just Soap here defending this mid pressure. 3 players for Shadow Wizard Money Gang grouped in towards B, and that boost timing actually doesn't give anything over to Soap. Has no idea. This is this jump here by the spool of White Box and just playing slow to contain. Now Ween on this angle headshot. Pre-fire angle is perfect, but the bullet comes out too slow. Maybe this gives an inkling to the rest of the CTs that they might want to bolster this A defense. Fart, once again, just taking the space out here towards A by himself. Starting to pull some rotations back. It will be this fight of Soap. He turns away, and Seabass comes up with his frag instead. Towards Highway, it's just this back quad player. Can Fart find him? But he's just playing on the top of this box. Now back from quad. Ween finds a hit kill onto Noah. Tech, back of this bomb site, activates, but damage is done. He's been spotted out, and the crunch from Highway is successful. Bomb will get planted. 20 seconds on the clock. Now the bomb goes down. Cepha gets the numbers tapped in. And so Omen set up for a 3-0 start here on Cash. I mean, looking through these map bans, I do think that this was kind of a very interesting pick. I think that either team, obviously going off of one game is a little difficult, and I think things can change season to season on your team and who's actually playing. But, you know, I do think that it is an interesting little, you know, thing to just keep in mind in terms of what bans have already happened. Both teams like to ban Ancient. You know, both teams are banning Nuke as well. You know, so I think, excuse me, not banning Nuke. You know, both teams are banning Ancient. And there was a Cash ban out of Omen last time, but this time obviously let it slip through. So I think the only maps that were really kind of a one and done ban were Anubis, and you know, I think it looks like it was Anubis and Dusttube were both not banned by either team in their last matchup. So it's kind of interesting to see how this goes with you know, with Cash just being a newer map and how much practice these teams might have on it and how confident they may feel in it. Should be a good showing. We do get Omen Esports getting to start out here on this 3-0 start. Aggression here in towards Checkers. Going to go for this vent boost early. Fart out towards middle is good on one. Topher now boosting Tori in. It is Tech to respond back. Finds that trade kill. Just playing on this kind of spot towards middle in the vent. Trying to deal with whatever potential re-aggression can come forward. Topher here, back of Checkers in this cubby. Tori now coming in from vent, just looking to spot around, but it's a slow crawl out of Omen Esports. They're going to be grouping in for this B hit. And you do have both B defenders on very aggressive positions, right? So you have this risk of, if this does go sideways, that your players aren't really given a lot of time to find rotations in. Molotov is good for one. They have to know that they heard that Molly tick. He's here just toward Checkers. Topher's good on one, and it will be Tori as well to add to the feed on the A1S. So much damage done to Ween. Zombie gonna swing into this Molotov. He's good on his kill. Keeps himself alive. Rotations now. Both players coming in from CT side. Ween gets this bomb planted. Both players a kill apiece, but low health on Ween could be a difference maker here. Just 7 HP to work. HC towards the back of the site. Barely evades it. Gives himself a second lease at life. This Molotov up close and personal. They're going to clear that angle, but no one is there. Ween trying to flash out for Zombie. They fully blind both players back in a tree. 20 seconds on the clock. Another flashbang in. Timing starting to creep away. Tech missed headshot from Zombie, but he corrects and finds the one tap. Ween has to be ready for this angle. Soap creeping out, looking for this kill, but Ween spots ahead, clips him on the skull, and it will be another round one out of Omen. This time a little bit of a 2v3 action. Might have even been a 2v4 based on the trades going down, but regardless, it will be Omen to lock things up, find a fourth round. They even call the timeout just to make sure they're on the same page of things. I have spoken to the team a little bit more since their last matchup. They brought in the new coach of Mindtrix, and I was curious. They called a lot of their timeouts last game. Even when they were in the driver's seat in some situations, they still were calling them. And I was curious, who's calling these timeouts, and it seems to be a by committee decision. I did see a pretty laughable screenshot that one of the attacks that was called by 4 of the players, including the coach and. Or 3 of the players, is one of the coach and 2 of the players in the server, all calling attack at the same time just to make sure that they get it done. None of them which were fart. So I do think it's a by committee thing, making sure if players notice something, they're speaking up about it. I think Mindtrix is still adding a lot of depth to this timeouts as well, giving space for players to speak, but also adding a lot of strategical input on what he might be seeing, what he might be noticing. Because of this 4-round deficit, Shadow Wizard Money Gang are forced into pistols in something that Omen have been so slow to do, without a fart Mac 10 to get aggressive. They have not been fighting super aggro in towards middle. It will be now to boost up this 5-7 in Topher. Looking to come up. Is Sepha going to be ready for it? I think he's holding this angle. Sepha spots one head. A little bit pressure. Looking to take these fights. Just tapping and tapping, but no kills go either direction. He does have the support of another player. However, a deagle shot out of Soap up close through the close position of Forklift. Topher goes 1 for 1 as Zombie will be the one to die here as the other A-Lurk. It's now an advantage for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We haven't really seen that much this game so far. But they get this advantage, now have this 4 versus 3 to play. They have 1 recovered rifle on Topher. Never found the other rifle of Fart, and look at this position. There's only 3 CTs coming back to play on this retake. That other player is still waiting towards A for a lurk, but Topher is now going to have to start to make a move. Realizes it's not planted towards A, and the rest of the squad have to be elsewhere. Lurk smoke out. It puts a little bit of pressure on Ween to find his gap and find what he's looking for. Vent is broken. Now Topher starting to spam out, but Seabass and Ween and Sepha, a trio of frags from all 3 members of Omen that remain on this map. And it's just going to be Topher going to take this rifle that he was able to drop. He's going to run, tuck his tail, get into door, and just keep it alive going into round 6. A 5-0 lead for Omen on this T side. Again, I do think that the middle space is the crux of it, and I think it might be in a bit of a different capacity when it comes to Omen. They have so far been so fine to play around these extremities and push and pull, and I think the expectations from Shadow Wizard Money Gang is that they will be going so aggressively towards this, mid position that they're putting, maybe so much pressure elsewhere, and because Omen is just playing these rounds out so slowly, it's adding a little bit of depth to kind of the expectations of things. And I think that because of the expectations from Shadow Wizard Money Gang, they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves on these rotations, thinking, oh, well, they're not towards middle. They have to be grouping up on one side or the other when something does finally happen. Spawn smokes out of Zombie and Seabass in towards middle. I'd say this one smoke is actually for boost to get them some boost space. And AG rips through all of the Omen attackers. There is a headshot out of Seabass to get things on as Tech now in the sandbags position. However, Ween is quick on the headshot. An instant trade. Or would be trade, but it's Topher to go down between the team shots out of Zombie and Seabass, and it just feels like all of Omen are on fire. Seabass, a 2nd kill in this round, and it's all down to Noah. Just this up, hasn't had a chance to play. Spots Sepha over the smoke. It's a missed shot. Does Ween see him? He's spamming away. Missed shot out of the Noah op, and it does give away his location. Ween doubles up in this round, and Omen gets to 6th, and it looks like the op trying to get recovered, but he can't find it in the smoke. So the Omen opper cannot arm himself just yet. But once again, just so dominant early. Omen 6-0 start. As we get into things, and I do think it's kind of when you have to start, wondering. It is a T-sided map, I think, in a lot of regards, but, how T-sided is too T-sided, right? Some money, enough money in the pockets, I believe from that saved rifle out of Topher in a previous round, that it is going to be an op dropped over to Noah, and he's going to lock down this A side alone. And this is the mid pressure from the CTs that I was talking about. 3 rifles required, but it is a kill. An opening kill once again, this time on a fart. However, the one op, the lone soldier in Noah, he goes down quickly. Cross smoke thrown out by Sepha to get his team some space. Flashing over into this A bomb site, now crossing over Topher, tagged through the smoke by Forklift, trying to jump onto the ladder. More damage done onto Tech. A lot of pressure. Bomb not getting planted just yet. Now going to get planted on the corner, but a headshot at a Sepha is good for 1. Spam through the smoke. They hear that damage come through. Ween will secure it. And it's another 2 versus 4 retake. that just does not seem to be coming through. Executed by Seppa. Damage done on a zombie. Headshots him. Seppa going hunting. His low HP does betray him. An HE deep in through spawn will do a little bit of damage. Another HE layered onto Tori. The Molotov from Seabass, and he will be committing out to this fight. I mean, there's no kit in this round for Tori. I do think that there was a dropped kit by the off of Noah and Quad, but it's instead a Ween triple kill here on round 7. Continuing this lead for Omen, and he has been on fire. Ween was not a name that got a lot of highlighting in that matchup against Chicken Coop on Nuke. It felt like he had his moments, he had his rounds where, he had a kill or two where it mattered. Once he got the op out on their CT side, I remember he had a couple of really important rounds. But, I mean, this is the whole other side. This is an Aiden that just, a Ween that seems so unlocked. 12-1. Finally gets his weapon of choice going, and he's holding for this lineup. Will he get it? Will someone wander into him? And barely, oh my goodness, almost threads the needle. He barely misses out on at least 2 players getting tagged up from that. Wallbang unsuccessful, but shows he's got the spirit for it. Seabass sitting on that boost in towards Garage to hold that mid-walk with that deeper smoke. Vent is broken by Tori. A little bit of pressure here. And it's just kind of Omen sitting back, waiting to see what comes forward for them. Fart has a lined up smoke, a resmoke for Z to let his players walk out on this close angle. On white box, Tori has to have a fast reaction time. Crouch peek by Sepha will get him out of the lens of that deagle. Molly over as well, kind of forcing back this defense. 3 players still grouped up here towards B site. No damage done to Fart. Just able to wander, waltz right into this A bomb site. A double kill from the IGL, still untouched. Gonna go back, and I mean, this is one of those moments where you think Omen might overcook things, but this re-execute, a flurry of utility all right in a row, and they are coming right back to this B bomb site in towards heaven. Missed shot out of Ween. 5-7 good on 1. Noah doing some damage. Topher as well. 2 frags. It's Sepha and Seabass and Ween. They add a couple of frags back. It could have been dangerous, and the overcooking could have been scary if Omen maybe walked into that B-stack just a second too early, but they are successful in their endeavors, and it's going to just be a clean 3-player stay alive, an 8th round from Omen. Again, a double kill out of the IGL of Fart. And this is where we are just seeing this dominance from Omen. It feels like they are a new team coming out of last season. Feels like last season had a lot of moments that were good, but kind of came up short in some regards. Had a very good end of the season after some troublesome, progressions through the midpoint. And I do think that, such a strong finish towards the end of the season, top 4 in advanced once again, you have to start to wonder that maybe one of these seasons they'll finally just stick together with the same 5. And last season, I think they played well enough towards the end that it could have been the secret sauce. It could have been the lineup that was projected to have a deeper run in advanced, or even make it out of advanced, make it to these ECL cups and have deeper progressions. But they make these 2 changes, and so far they are paying off greatly. Seabass continuing on from last season's terror. However, this time Noah finally breaks the mold of that op, brings out 1 shot ahead of this smoke. Good for 1. Soap gets traded instantly. Noah and Soap both fall in tandem. It's now a 2 versus 3 for Shadow Wizard Money Gang on this retake. In from Highway. It is Tech trying to play around this. The Ween op shoots through that smoke, clears off Topher on that headshot angle. Seabass gives himself over to Tech. Up close and personal. This op towards the forklift gets removed. It's now down to this Tech 1 versus 3. Puts it together to get that first on the board for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. What felt like maybe a little bit of overstepping from Omen, thinking a little too confident in things, as this game has been what a lot of people could say was just too easy. Do overstep things just that little bit. That margin of error slides the way of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. It's a Tech 1 versus 3. Finally, first round we've seen him get very many kills, and it does result in a first round out of the CTs to finally break the streak of Omen from 8-0. Finally, a little bit of pause put in, maybe giving a little bit of confidence over towards Shadow Wizard Money Gang to get things going. Op was recovered back in the hands of Noah. He did find that 1 opening kill towards that execute. Seabass sitting in the smoke up close. I don't know if he heard Soap, but he has to know now. Breaking the smoke. Seabass there. Flashbang turned away. Swings out. Seabass not ready for the positioning of Soap. He never heard him. And it will be a 4 versus 4 back as soon as, Ween finds that opener onto Tori. And it will be another kill, this time added by Topher. The aggression through the B site, holding in Sunroom. It was Sepha, but he was unable to trade his teammate's death and zombie. So now we're back to this Ween Fart duo. We haven't seen it in a couple of seasons. With Sefa now, that newest rifle addition. Can they put something together in a 3 versus 4 disadvantage against these full buy? Noah's op rings out first. It will be that first op head-to-head that we've seen in this map so far, and it will be the CT's opper to take the lead in that department. 2 versus 4. Starts to feel like the pressure is starting to mount. Sefa having to clear these angle spots towards headshot. Not ready for the second player up close and personal. It will be Fart now. Left to clutch it. Missed shot on both players. And Topher triple kill here on this B site. And the Shadow Wizard Money Gang second round comes rolling in off of a 4-player advantage, keeping a 4 alive. However, the money is still good for Omen. Another op bot is bought up for Ween. The money is good enough where they can continue to feel a little bit of confidence as they go. Spam onto Seabass just quite a bit. Already down to just 7 HP. It's only been 20 seconds to start this round. Missed re-smoke in through middle. It's going to be a bit of an awkward position for Tori, having to play ahead of things, but he can spot with his eyes on what he sees towards middle. That HE timing might be perfect on his Seabass. It barely misses the mark. Again, a missed utility out of Tori. Deeper flash is coming over. Utility coming through, and Seabass's HP doesn't even matter. It's a 1-bullet kill out of the rifle, and it will be Sefa trading that death to Soap. So the HP of Seabass does, you know, lend itself to the frag from Soap, but that's all he'll come up with. It's still this deficit. 4 versus 3 for Omen to play. Resmoke towards A site, and the only defender, Topher towards B site, and a triple kill in the last was definitely a difference maker, but now mollied out towards this headshot angle, caught in this Molotov, has to play back of this bomb site. Utility starts to fly over, getting tagged once again. He can't find the safe space, can't find the headshot. One is good onto Fart, under pressure. These players starting to collapse. It will be a zombie headshot as Sefa scales this bomb site. Deeper smoke keeps Tech at bay, trying to play around it, but not being given anything over. Zombie trying to evade these shots from Noah, but he's on the other side of that wall. He's nowhere near it. HE Molotov towards the back of the site. It will force Sefa to take that duel, but it's a mis-chosen angle from Noah. It will be another missed op shot out of Noah. We've seen way too many of those, even in this first half alone. And Sefa dancing, jiggling around. They know Tech's final position. Ween should have this one locked up, clamped up, and it will be the op shot to ring out. Omen Esports, they get a 9th on the board, looking to reach double digits as they enter their their own CT side. Just feeling oh so unbeatable right now. And it feels like there's not been a single person you could really point to as, you know, why Shadow Wizard Money Gang is even falling behind in these rounds. I mean, only 2 players have anywhere close to their, you know, match an even KD. Tech at 6 and 8, Topher at 9 and 8. Everyone else on the squad, 3 and 9 for Tori, 5 and 9 for Soap, 4 and 10 for Noah. Feels like there's been some difficulties for these players just getting going in this game. And Omen this time are actually showing a bit of a take over here towards the A site. Just shuffling this utility over. Molotov in through middle, but it will be this execute over towards the A site. Tori, only 1 home. Rotation up through highway. 1 player will arrive shortly, but this Molotov slows down that take towards the door. Utility in the hand. Seabass rips ahead of Tori. Gets this bomb site cracked right open for Omen Esports. Top of E-box, Noah goes falling. This A site just dismantled by Omen Esports, and it feels like this is the one round they've done just a true flat-out execute towards one site without trying to really pull much in the mid-round. Flashes in. Zombie, Ween, combined for a couple of frags. It's now Topher, an ace clutch in the cards if he can put this one together, and it will not go his way. A zombie double kill as Omen reached double digits already. The 17 and 3 round half out of Ween just dismantles Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Just feels like, I mean, it's just just a complete destruction. You know, can you really You know, what can you say? I mean, it feels like this has just been too difficult of a game to, get things going. It's just, what can you do? Bit of technical difficulties, unfortunately. Give me 1 second as I try to sort these things out. Having to just give me 1 second to fix things, but should be fixed in a moment. As this A execute comes forward, Tech now leads the charge. The bomb will get planted, and it will be this full stack of B players for Omen that gives an opening into this A bomb site up on this headshot angle. Seabass loses his head to Tech up close. Fart needs that trade, but it's Tori combining. Another headshot. Soap goes 1 for 1. Another kill out of Topher. It's all down to Zombie tapping away, but he's only good for 1. A third round for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Finally, something goes their way. Excuse the HUD having some issues, but it will be this execute into this A bomb site, just keeping things easy. Looking to keep it going. Will be another round finished up for Omen. A fourth round now, 2 in a row for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Now getting back into things. Omen just not really able to give too much fight back, but guns bought up, force coming in. It's a lot of FAMASs. It's the 1 MP9 on Fart. Just trying to see if they can force things one direction or another. Will be this A pop looking to come forward and Fart, this A defender, the only player home. A little concerning. Utility spotted, put into his hand, and he can't get away. Now under pressure, Fart comes up empty-handed. These 2 players here from Highway are going to be these first responders to this A bomb site. Smokes start to fly over. Seabass trying to get ahead of things, but holding that angle is Tech. It's a headshot out of the rifle. Now Omen in this deficit on this retake. No kit. I believe Fart would have dropped one back towards NPK. That's the only kit you can really point to in this round. Noah crosses over towards Forklift. Soap is also doubled up with him. Crosses back over. Molotov will come in to try to deny this space, and I think Omen realized that the save is going to be required. Getting aggressive. Tori looking for this MAC-10 kill. Finds Zombie, spraying him down with that MAC-10. Not ready for Cepha. Bullets start to drain. Now Zombie here towards Z under pressure. They know that the cavalry is coming hunting. Zombie needs to pick an angle, gets picked by Noah. Good on 1. Can't adjust for the second kill. Cepha misses his spray when he should have had at least the first. It's Soap instead. Finds a double kill on this hunt. Wing getting spammed through that doorway. Just trying to stay tucked and stay hidden. Keep that 1A1S in play for the following. $25 seconds on this timeout. Omen just trying to make sure they're under, kind of keeping up with things. We saw 3 rounds get ripped and put together by Shadow Wizard Money Gang early on in this half. Found a couple of rounds at the end of regulation in the first half. Found, I believe, from 8-0, found 2 rounds before losing the 11th and 12th round of the half. They've now responded back with 3 in a row to start things off for themselves. And it will be the saved rifle of Ween, keeping extra money in his pockets for an op in the future. Everyone else just armed with some pistols. 1 deagle on Sefa, 5.7s around everybody else. There is no kit, so Omen have to keep that in mind. If any retakes are even possible in a round like this, then you need to be ready to, ready to spring on things. This rifle of Ween playing aggressive through door. The liberty of this space being given over. And he does have a nice timing. However, this crawl up through the A bomb site. A lot of pressure on Fart. He's the first to fall. And now walking through door. Ween collects 1 frag. Knows that another player has to be nearby. But instead it's Soap recovers the bomb. And he's able to put things away. The kill onto Ween is surely the round ender. Just these 5.7s being held onto the back of this B bomb site. Should be nothing else given over. Should be the last of it.
Bomb has been planted.
Just this bomb times out. And it will be a 6th round for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And slowly but surely, they have started to work their way into things. Added now 6. Only 4 rounds separate these 2 teams. And, again, you don't want to be ahead of yourselves and acting like it's not going to come together and get sorted in some capacity. But it is a bit concerning if nothing can be, brought forward and, slowing down this attack at all. Kits now across the board. Rifles bought up. Ween will get his op in his hands this round after being able to drop over his saved rifle to a teammate. Or excuse me, he did not save his rifle, but has the money to arm himself with an op. Molotov onto boost. It will slow down that aggressive middle play out of Tori. Now having to burn that HE completely, misses it. But it is okay, It is Seabass now fronting this utility. It gets dinked through that wall by the AK. Playing with fire as he's low HP. He has the support of 1 player nearby, but they're going to have to give up this space. It's going to be Sefa, Bart, grouped up here in the site. Seabass will start to make his way back to contain that Z space. And the op is still sitting towards B. The bomb, of Shadow Wizard Money Gang is here towards A main, and it looks like you want to go back into one of these setups, these mid splits from Highway. These were the rounds that I was talking about being the true crux of a strong T side here on Cash. And it's going to look like this is the round they're looking for. 4 players grouped in here through Highway. Catches them all blinded, but Sefa, poor target decision, does not get what he needs. Instead, it's a Noah headshot into the back of quad onto Fart. Tech now dinked from hell. Taken up by that truck player, now back and forth. Sefa, you're under pressure, have to put something together, but he comes up empty-handed on repeat. Instead, it's now down to Zombie, has to triple up in a round like this. He can't find this 1 kill onto Soap. It's a double kill for that entry rifler. And Shadow Wizard Money Gang through thick and thin, they are able to collapse, make it to the A bomb site, and they just went out on those duels. I mean, that is a really tough one to stomach if you're Omen. I mean, it feels like you had your players in the right spot. Bart gets called out, peeking towards Highway. He gets headshot by Noah on the rifle. And then you have Sefa, so many opportunities. A missed shot onto those players towards Highway when they're all blind, just doesn't pick the right target. Has to fall back before they come out of when they regain their vision. Sits back towards Forklift and just, unfortunately, bobbles around with the other follow-up kills. Op, now in the hands of Soap. It will be Sefa once again under duress, and he loses his life early in this round. Here towards A, flashed in. Tori fully blinded. It will be a rifle recovered for Omen on the hands of Ween. The rest of the squad looking to go back here towards the B site. Audio given over, so Soap is taking a lot of liberties here. Collapsing in from vent, just has to tuck in, but Zombie, is he gonna get cleared? He will. Topher dinked down, but it's still a kill in favor of these CTs on this cross. Can they find it? Topher instead spams 2 through that smoke. Seabass, a world of hurt with a 5-7, good for just the double kill, trying to make magic happen, and it will not be the case. Instead, it's Soap double kill on this op, a part-time opper it seems. Noah normally the one to be holding that op, and it looks like they're trying to decide who's going for these opening picks. It's going to go back to the hands of Noah. And Omen, I mean, this is... You don't want to be too down in the dumps about how things are going, but you go from being 10-2 at the half. You have an 8-round lead to start things off, an 8-0 start. You end with an 8-round lead at the end of your half as well. It would feel truly terrible if this game slips away from you. So Ebas, just head taken off by Topher, who's really come to life here on this T side. You had a lot of moments on CT that you really could point towards, and be thankful that he was on your team if you were on Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And he's now come up big still. In through bench, Sefa. Oh my goodness, are you gonna clear this? He gets the dink, but instead, if the AK is just better. Under duress, Ween on the op, misses the second shot, needs to come up with another, but misses it. Instead, it's Fart lined up by Tori, the double headshot. It's all down to Zombie, and it looks like a 9th round will be tacked on for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, now separating just these two teams by 1 round. Man, oh man, so many opportunities for all of these Omen players, and they can never get what they need. Ween gets the first, he swings back in, looking for a second, misses the 2 follow-up shots, and Fart he gets his first, he gets it back into a 4 versus 4, but he loses himself early on to that execute, lining up with the Tory shots behind Ween, and it now turns into Omen really no longer in the driver's seat. Momentum has been given back to Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They found 7 rounds in a row now to start off their T-side affairs. And that's where you have to start getting a little bit worried about things. It will be Zombie. He holds on to his rifle. And I think Omen are going to buy into this. Seabass is enough for an op for Ween if they so choose. Bart can buy himself a weapon. Zombie could drop a weapon over. And that will be the deciding factor. It's that op going to the Ween. Weapons picked up by these players. Gonna save these rifles, just keep the money flowing, but there's low utility on most of these members of the team. Sefa with 1 smoke. Fart and Zombie hold the remainder pieces of utility for Omen. And this fast B aggression, and now Zombie, he knows what's coming. Flashbang is good, but Zombie can't tuck himself back into the bomb site. It's now Sefa has to come up with something more damage done out of this rifle, but no kills come his direction ever. And it will be another bomb plant in potentially the tying round here for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Almost put together in one stride. Rarely being challenged on this map, on this half. There is a kit in the hands of Fart. They have a little bit of utility to work, but the smoke comes in from heaven. Might put some positive things. Ween has this op, but he's going to flash out his teammate. Seabass swinging into things. It is Fart coming forward, and they just have to call it. Have to give this retake up, and it will be hunted. Noah going for these kills. Can they find it? It will be the op shot of Ween to save his teammate. 2 weapons can be saved, but an Omen classic, if you will, just letting this game get all too close. 10 rounds across the board. In a game where you never think it's going to be tied, but it does meet that criteria. And they save those weapons. The op for Ween kept. Seabass has a rifle of his own, and Zombie has plenty of cash to buy for himself. Might be able to squeak together another weapon for his teammate if he so chooses. It might be the other weapon dropped over, but will be some dropped weaponry from Ween. Zombie could buy himself up. Seabass is going to be able to get all the utility he could use. And another timeout, the final timeout called by Omen Esports. And this is where things start to get a little bit under question of how this game was starting out. It looked so great. Your T-side just completely flowing. You're winning all the duels. You only lose a couple of close rounds, but otherwise... Gonna be, again, this aggression in through middle, out of the T's, and it will be the CTs to respond back with a couple of frags, but Tori has put Sefa on notice. Tucked in, they know his position, reloading this weapon, forced back. Sefa needs this duel, but he just can't get it done. Bart now trying to defend. This A push sprays down. 2 members of these terrorist squad to get his team an answer, a way out in this round. He drops that bomb towards the A main, finds a double kill the leader from the bottom of the scoreboard, from the bottom of the clutches, will bring back this round. Tori up close, dropped by that op, and when he's needed most, Fart, the leader of Omen, leads by example. Clotheslines, both of those terrorists coming out of A main, they just drop bodies. Heavy weighted, they cannot hold against that Fart MP9. Even from range, he's good with it. And Omen, what feels like should have not been a close game, finally get the lead back after letting it become tied. 11 rounds now, finally break through and stop this momentum from Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but the money is still so good for the T's that they are guaranteed more buys in this game. Really enough money to go around for the rest of this map. Up close and personal, missed shot out of Tech, but he adjusts his spray on to Seabass. Topher collapses, it's all down to Ween. Missed shot out of his op, and it will be back to tie immediately. 11-11, Shirley on the board. Sefa, Zombie, do you really want to give your lives over for this one? Soap up close and personal, going hunting out of Z. Sefa right behind him. Should get that kill. Sefa finally gets one back in his name. Like, since the CT side has swapped over, he has just been given a lot of opportunities and cannot fulfill on any of his promises, being given those rifles. And now Sefa's under pressure here through the CT spawn. Tori going hunting towards Zombie's location as well. He is under pressure in this smoke. They're gonna find him. Noah, a jumping, flying headshot onto Sefa. Zombie not gonna keep his rifle, and it's a costly loss. Omen now have to allow things staying at 11-11. A full 24 rounds will be required at a minimum. In this round, the money is just not there. Omen will allow the op for Ween to come out. They get a rifle for Sefa. There's enough money for one more rifle to come forward. Seabass and Zombie forced down to weaker weaponry, and the utility, once again, is just not there. There is a kit for Sefa. That's the only kit in this round. A little bit of scraps bought up. This, again, as we were saying, you know, Omen had a very different approach to their T side with allowing more space to be taken over towards that middle, you know, as the CTs let them have it in space, steal more space around the extremities. Has not been the case for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. This is finally a round where they decide to pick a different direction, but before now, they have been so set on working towards middle. The bomb is in the hands of Noah. After Soap loses himself, gives it over the opening over to Omen. Now considering going elsewhere. Bomb now regrouping in towards the spawn. The WAP of Ween has to hit this shot. This is a necessary one on this close angle. Tori and Tech starting to walk out towards middle. They're going to swing into him. Missed shot from the op. He's going to get back on the box. And a quick adjustment onto Tech. Looking for another kill. A triple out of the Ween op. On for the ace as we only have 2 remaining members of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. In towards middle, it's just Noah remaining. Tag from Ween. He's just trying to tap away with his USP. Knows that a clutch is possible. We saw Tech do it before. You do not want to allow another member of this team get in the hot seat. Noah now crawling out towards this vent position. He does have the bomb still, the original bomb carrier this entire round. The bodies drop of his teammates. And up close, he's going to cross out. Sefa doesn't even need to pull the trigger. It's another Ween op, a quad kill for the Omen Opper. 28 frags. And man, you would think with a game that Ween has been having that this game should be over long ago. But man, oh man, are you feeling a different way if this game somehow slips out of their hands and continues to progress as we've seen? It is not at all what you want to have happen. Op of Ween, the one to watch. No up for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. A full buy-in from both rosters. Hits galore, utility galore on the final round of this map. Potentially in regulation. Overtime could be in the cards. Now in this middle default, it's just Seabass, but Tori opens the door. Clear Sefa. Opening into this A bomb site has been found. Molotov back and forth. Tori will lose this duel to Fart. It's Fart just ticking away on this Molotov. Has to get away into the back of the site. Pressure now. Zombie here to help out, but Fart just under duress in this site. Top of Fork looking to cross over, and it will be a Zombie headshot. Seabass from the other side of the map drops Topher. And Omen Of course, all rounds are needed, but they're looking to try to close in this 4 versus 2 now. Back and forth. Soap taking the duel, wins his headshot against Zombie. Another tap on the Fart. It's down to Ween and Seabass. Can they find this? Soap and Tech trying to find this round. Bomb is dropped on top of Forklift. It will be recovered by Soap. Op has been spotted. Still towards Highway. It is Seabass. Misses his shot onto Tech. Now the opportunity given over. Wayne trying to swing out Tech in such an abusable position if he's not ready for it. Oh, Wayne is under pressure. Drops the bomb, but on top of Red, he doesn't spot him, and he cannot adjust. It's Tech to shut down the 1 versus 2 attempt out of Wayne, and we are going to overtime, folks. What should have been a quick and easy game from the Omen perspective, from the Omen camp. Somehow, some way, they let things get to an overtime. Now having to witness another CT side on this starting half. If you're Omen, it feels like towards the end you figured it out just a little bit. But maybe, even if it felt like you were figuring it out, you still have to come to, you know, the realization that your CT side was the weaker side. It was the reason this game is even in this half, in this overtime. Another op opening from Ween. He's been pretty great at those here, and it will be against Topher, the leading fragger for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Truly the only member on this team that is 100% positive right now in KD. Tori in this door position was found the opener against Sepha on the last round. Cross smoke comes out of Noah. The bomb is there. Door opens, swinging out. It's Ween, the only one to rotate in to help out Fart. Smoke will be broken. Soap takes all kinds of damage towards the B site. Another chip from that HE, but he gets away with his life. Still on boost, holding this mode rotation out of Tech. I think the question is if they are even going to commit out. They still have Noah here on this with the bomb here in towards main. Is going to clear Fart up on this boosted position. He's not ready for it. Caught out. It will be one drop. Bomb is now gifted over to Omen. They know this door player is still here. HE lands on the nose of Tori. And another shot out of Wayne. He forces Tori out of that doorway. Another shot. Double kill for the Omen Opper. Soap goes down to Fart. Last player spotted. It's a triple kill from the IGL. And that old-fashioned duo of Ween and Fart, they combined for all 5 on the opening round of overtime. And I feel like this is just historically Omen. Allow this game to be a little too close. But then somehow, some way, once it gets to overtime, all the pressure is gone and you're just in a flow state. And they just figured out right then and there. They find these rounds, and feels like we're about to witness such a map as we're getting grouped on this B bomb site behind this smoke. Oh my goodness, they're gonna go for this boost, and they might catch them out. Being flashed through, Zombie doubles up. Sepha out here to support. Gonna get forced into this molly, and Sepha, can he get away? He can stay alive. Zombie comes up empty-handed, trying to go for the multi-kill. They know this player is close by. Sepha plays ahead of the flashbang, and he's good. Fully blinded onto Tech. It will be Seabass, finds the 1-for-1 out of the vent, still stuck into the back of this checker's position. Mollied out again. Sepha has to swing into this duel, and Noah stays alive. It's a 4 versus 2. Now down into the 2 versus 1. Fart and Ween need this round of molly towards main. Noah has slipped the needle, and it's an ace clutch for this player if he can put this one together. Fart playing close by tree, and Ween is playing to hold this B rotation, making sure he cannot leave and go to another bomb site. But a tap here will solidify that he is on this bomb site. So now Ween, he can get this rotation going. Bomb will fully get planted now. Fart just jiggling from tree. Noah so cautious about this potential heaven position. Is he going to be ready for Ween to walk in from main? And I think with how long they're taking, the idea that they could be coming from a different direction might start to enter Noah's mind. On top of this box, the flash out will actually give away his position. Now, just holding on top of the box, getting Fart, trade him, and he will. The IGL in safe hands allows Omen to find 2 rounds on their CT side in this overtime. They match what they were able to do earlier on the regulation of their CT side. But start out 2-0 on the overtime in this first half. Now we have to see if Omen can do it once again. Can they just somehow put this one to bed? It wouldn't be Omen if there were no overtimes, but feels like you want, especially early on in the season, to have these more confident victories. You know, maybe playing with fire can wait for later on. All this utility raining down above on top of boost. It's going to slow down that play. Ween just holding on this angle will get off of it. There is no op. Notice, no op bought up for any player on Shadow Wizard Money Gang this entire overtime to start. Holding the soap, holding the boost, the double boost up. Tori and Soap grouped up. They have the one player jiggling that edge of that smoke. It will be Topher holding towards vent, but Sepha finally wins that duel out of the vent. He goes 1 for 1 quickly, but it's an opening that they could work with. Ween adds to the tally, another kill in through main, a leg shot, tag onto 1. HE should finish his kill off. It will. Another tag onto Tech with that grenade, but another double kill out of the Ween off. 33 and 12 has truly done heroic after heroic play to keep Omen in this map and even give them a chance to just try to close in so many opportunities. Creeping and crawling back to this B bomb site. It is Zombie. He's been a bit quiet on this game. I mean, feels like the only player who's had so many highlight moment after highlight moment has been Ween. The normal, usual suspects in Seabass and Zombie have had their moments, sure, but haven't been nearly as explosive as we are used to. Headshot angle for Zombie. They're just going to contact any spots the barrel can call them over. Oh, he tries to spray a little bit too early, and now Tech can cross in. Soap drops the smoke, but Ween is ahead of it. Back of the site. It doesn't even matter. A quad kill from Ween. Omen Esports shut out Shadow Wizard Money Gang on their CT side in this overtime, putting themselves up 15 to 12 as we swap sides. Maybe a question mark, just how, you know, things have been going. And it feels like if you started this, if you were here at the beginning of this stream, at the beginning of this matchup, you saw the domination out of the Omen Esports T side, just completely wailing on Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They could do no wrong and started out the game 8-0, end of the half 10-2, maintaining that 8-round lead. But just comes apart at the seams on their CT side and finally have a breakthrough round at 10-10. Omen collapse towards that A site. Fart finds a very necessary double kill to get to an 11th. Go back to 11-11. They get a dominant victory with Ween finding a quad to get to 12. And Ween, even in a position to clutch it up in a 1 versus 2, cannot find the final frag of the 24th round. And so we do have to see overtime. This aggressive CT position out of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Just close up here. Tech holding underneath this boost, but there's no one holding the boost. Instead, it's Seabass maintaining this position, just holding, waiting for someone to walk through. And he doesn't want to get off this boost just yet, holding the smoke. And there might be a fight here, but Tech's actually going to back off and give up the space, and no one will spot either direction. Sepha takes this bomb. They start to regroup in here towards this B side, looking to break this vent. Seabass just holding for a mid walk. It's just Tech here holding, and just on this stalemate, it will be the double op, the triple op. I didn't even realize coming out of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And one of those ops posted up here towards the B site. It's Tori on the headshot angle. Will he be able to do enough on this round? Smoke aimed by Zombie, looking to smoke them out. Will be the second op from Noah, still here as well. Gonna find that miss that first shot, but it's Tori good for 1. Back of the site, another op shot, this time from Noah. Omen just struggling to put something together. Sepha finds 1 onto Tori. It will be that opening kill needed to get into this bomb site, but so many ops still in this retake position. The late activation from Vent. Tech just waiting for his team. Now the needle drops. Zombie under pressure has to find this player, but Sepha's good for 1. Finishes off the damage onto Noah. Tech looking to drop in from Vent. Flash in. Topher finds 1 kill. Now dropping ahead of it. Zombie not ready for the drop, but he readjusts his headshot angle. Sepha finds another kill. It's Topher 1 versus 2 to try to keep this map going. Damage onto both players, picks up this rifle. Zombie backup checkers is able to play the time on this one. Slides out. Sepha, when needed most, struggles all game, but a quad kill to close. In Omen Esports, all it takes is an overtime, but a 16-12 victory comes their way. And they are able to officially start this season off right. A 2-0 start to close out their week 1 matchups as they try to get into the right mindset for the second week of games. First cash out of Omen that we've seen this season, and it's a messy one, but some stuff to be able to, look back on and make some adjustments, after how that game went. Looking into their matchups for this week, we do have Wanted Goons taking on Omen tomorrow night. Currently, I believe Wanted Goons is sitting at a 1-1 record. Currently 1-0 actually, and have not played their. Actually, have a double header tomorrow night. They have the Omen game and then their other week 1 matchup following up with the as second next up. And then Omen's Thursday matchup will be against Lag. Life's a game. And I believe Lag are starting off the season pretty well as well. Actually, looks like they have not played any of their games yet. They have they have a game Tuesday, Thursday, and 2 on next Sunday. So a 0-0 record for Lag. Looking to see how that one goes. And we have some 2 exciting games to watch from Omen for the remainder of this week. But today has been a great stream, a great game from Omen. We will be saying goodbye, saying goodnight. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your night. And we will be back tomorrow night with some more Omen action. Enjoy.